Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to this session, taking a deep dive into the NFT experience at the Global Technology Governance Summit. My name is Samita Deshmukh, and I am on the Blockchain and Digital Assets team at the World Economic Forum. We have a really exciting panel today to walk you through the experience and some of the elements behind it. So before we get started, I'm going to have our panelists introduce themselves. So I'm going to do it by the order that's on my screen. Austin, I'll hand it over to you.
Hi, what's up? I'm Austin Griffith. I'm a builder on Ethereum, and I'll be helping out with the wallet and the NFTs and maybe a bonding curve. We'll see.
Tuba.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tuba Durez. I work for the World Economic Forum on the Strategic Intelligence team, and I'm a data scientist by background.
And over to Harry.
Hello, my name is Harry Yeff. I'm also known as Reeps 100. I'm part of the Experiments in Art Technology program at Bell Labs, and I'm the founder of R100 Studios and the creator of Voice Gems.
Great. So we're going to dive into all of that in just a moment. But before we get started, Austin, can you take us through what is an NFT and the high level of what we're really talking about here?
So I like to really get a little nerdy with it just in a little bit and stick with me here. So I think the best way for me to explain an NFT is to kind of think about how it's stored on chain. And this is weird, stay with me. But when we think about fungible and non-fungible assets, a fungible asset is just a balance of something. It's stored on chain as just a number. Alice has a balance, Bob has a balance. And when they transfer a fungible asset, it just goes out of Alice's balance and into Bob's balance. But with a non-fungible token, these things are unique. It kind of flips it around. Instead of an owner having a balance, it's the other way around. A token has an owner. So on chain, each one of these things are individual, and each one has a unique kind of token URI, and each one has an owner. And when you send them from person to person, it's sort of like you change the owner from one person to the other, and they're all digitally unique. And then what's cool with Ethereum is we can build in all sorts of neat mechanics to that. And I think we kind of hinted at a bonding curve, but we can look at kind of, can we create a bonding curve with instant liquidity with these? Can we pay artist royalties? And really, since Ethereum is just simple code on chain, like we can write anything we want to into these. And it's a neat thing when, any random nerd can just grab something off a shelf and mint a bunch of NFTs, especially in collaboration with an awesome artist like Harry, which I'd kind of like to transition to his definition of NFTs. Mine is more like collectibles. Mine is more like unique. It's about provenance of a thing. Like you own that one thing and that one thing is unique, and we can see on chain how many of them they are and who owns them. But I feel like it opens up, for me, it's like utility. Like it could even be an ID card that says I'm allowed to get in somewhere, right? But I think it really opens up when we ask the artist what an NFT is, because to them, it's something, totally crazy and awesome. And that's what I want to just like hand it off to Harry and hear his NFT definition also. And then maybe we can transition into the work too.
Yeah, no, thank you, Austin. When I think about NFTs, it's a huge opportunity to kind of counter the stereotypes that we have with the digital. And we can actually take something that is not expected to be infinite and vast. We can give it an objective, like tangible block. So we're able to actually assign something in a digital space with a token. And I've been working in the digital space for a very long time, working on how we can make the voice something tangible. And the reason I fell into the NFT rabbit hole, 4 years ago, I had a project where I was using my voice to create these digital sculptures. And I was approached by an individual who said that they wanted to use their voice to propose. They wanted to use their voice to create a digital sculpture and make something that was a digital object have a brand new value. I was able to kind of challenge those traditions with something that is digital. And what's so interesting about the NFT space is now with non-fungible tokens, we're able to question value. We're able to assign value, which is on the blockchain and can be shared and increase in value, and that cannot be removed. So as a very high level explanation, it's a whole new opportunity for artists to create these faces to non-fungible tokens. And when you think about smart contracts and the creativity that comes with that, it is so vast and exciting. And it goes so much beyond just art. It's an opportunity to really invest and understand the mechanics of the future and the future of value.
That's great. Yeah, thanks for that explanation. And just to make sure I know we have a wide audience who's tuning into this, so to make sure that's crystal clear to everyone, I realized I didn't even introduce what I meant by NFT. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And so just thought it was good to get that basic out there. But I'll turn it over to Tuba now to tell us a little bit more about the inspiration behind this interactive experience. What are we hoping that participants take away from this?
Thanks, Sumita. So as you know, the Global Technology Governance Summit focuses on the responsible use and deployment of technology. And that is fundamentally hard to do if you do not understand the technology that's behind these governance protocols. So we wanted to give the audience and the participants a way to basically get their hands onto the technology that was both informative and fundamentally fun for them to play around with. We decided on blockchain and NFTs, not only because of their huge potential for the future, but then also all the hype that is around it right now. And because of that, all the misinformation that's around it as well. So ideally, we're looking for our participants to play around with the wallet and mint their collectible. And through that, create a sense of understanding on what the technology really is. And if they walk away feeling curious and excited, I think we would have achieved our goal.
That's great. And I think, Tuba, and tying together some of these threads, we're just getting started with this technology, right? So we're at the early days of NFTs. There are a lot of things that are evolving very quickly and a lot of exciting potential applications. So maybe you'll be inspired to come up with new ideas or to dive a little deeper in some of the NFT marketplaces that are going on right now. And so with that, I'll actually turn it back over to Austin to tell the audience and the participants what can they expect? What's the experience that they're going to be having as they use this NFT wallet?
I'm going to share my screen just real quick. We have like a little rough demo. I think the neatest part about this is the fact that any developer like me can just grab this stuff off the shelf. And I've got this wallet set up. So we'll drop tokens to everyone. And so they'll have tokens to use to mint. And then we'll have the Harry's work here, and you'll be able to mint and burn certain pieces. So you'll be able to pick out the one you want and go ahead and mint that, and then that will go into your wallet. And what we'll do is we'll use, developer demo. What we'll use is a bonding curve, and we'll say that as you buy those, they get more expensive. So maybe the more interesting pieces might get more expensive or less expensive, and there'll be instant liquidity in the curve. So as you buy more of these, the price goes up, but at any time you can burn them and sell them back to the curve too. And what I think we want to mix in there is just really hit home the fact that any random mechanic can be added into this. I think what we'll do is just like throw some artist royalties in there too. We'll find Harry's address or maybe a multi-sig for Harry, and every time one of these things moves around, we'll send Harry a little bit of that liquidity in the curve. So who knows? We'll pull something off the shelf. You'll be able to send a lot of tokens. You'll be able to mint tokens. But the cool thing is like what the random thing the developer adds in the next day or two.
And just to add to that, I think a really interesting point is the reselling aspect to this. If you think of buying a car, there's a logbook. And if you have a car that does not have a logbook, you don't know where it's been, who's owned that car is worth less. You have two of the exact same vehicles. Knowing where things have been is extremely important. And this idea of being able to put an artwork on the blockchain, being able to sell that on is not just good for the collectors, it's incredible for the artists. It's incredible for real estate. It basically represents selling in a completely new and very, very exciting way. And it benefits the sellers and the collectors in a really, really, really great and powerful set of mechanisms.
I love talking about how perhaps like maybe there's more utility to it, even beyond like, so there's great composability already. On chain, everything's public. Each one of these that is minted could go into and be part of some other game. Kind of permissionlessly, anyone else can use these tokens for something else, right? But what if we built in some utility and maybe we said, whoever minted, the most expensive of each piece then got an autograph from you, or something even more tangible of like, what about if there's a chat room and whoever owned these could get into a chat room? Or or maybe we took a token vote at the end, and whoever owned the most tokens had the most voting power. So we can use these tokens in a lot of just really weird, interesting ways. And I think that's kind of the future of what's going to happen with these NFTs, is the small tweaks to the mechanics on chain, but also the utility and the neat things that we do with them once they're minted.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And thanks, Harry, for chiming in. I think, you know, as we're explaining NFTs to people, we're having a lot of conversations. I think the royalties idea and the ownership that you mentioned, that log and record of ownership, that's really where it clicks for people, that this is something quite new and unseen to the state. So I think that's very exciting. And with that, let's maybe transition over to the art itself. I'd love to hear from you, Harry, a little bit more about the Voice Gems collection, your inspiration, and really what you're hoping, the narrative you're hoping to drive with the Voice Gems collection.
Well, absolutely. As I mentioned before, there was this very strange happening where this work, which was an augmented performance tool, allowed me to perform in a way that in a single vocal performance, I could create 20 sculptures. And this idea of being able to create in real time is really exciting, because with technology, you can make connections that were never there before. If you think of the traditional arts, computation and many aspects of technology is a true chance to do something brand new, to stand on the shoulders of previous masters and see further in some ways. And when we created this gift for an engagement, it stayed with me. And for a long time, I worked on this idea that every single human voice is like a precious jewel. It's a unique fingerprint. And the voice being an absolute human fundamental, there's a giant opportunity in technology to use the emerging edge, the cutting edge of tech, to remind us of the key aspects of what it means to be human. So Voice Gems is the newest iteration where I've actually been able to take the human voice, take very beautiful examples of voice, and use what's called a particle system. So based on the tone of your voice, based on the volume, in real time, we're able to create these structures that are responsive. And we take one of the stills from that performance and we render a voice gem.
Everything is moving so fast. We are so connected, but there is actually a lacking quality of connection, and making sure that we're always thinking about how to have richer communication is an absolute must.
So this whole process is an example of how technology can create new connections, but it also is this wonderful way to explore value. And if you think of the traditional aspects of value and industry, there is huge waste. And with all the questions around technology, energy, NFTs, there's actually a huge opportunity for artists to come in and kick up the right questions. We're able to show that the digital can actually phase out wasteful industries. And we have to keep having these conversations. So can we have digital diamonds replace the physical? Can we have the digital replace wasteful physical industries? It's my job to ask those questions and to produce artworks that synthesize voice, inspire questions, and allow people to have insights into technology in brand new ways.
That's great. And I think we will link to more of Harry's work and the broader collection of his work, both in the wallet and throughout this experience. So I hope our audience members and our participants will take a look and dive a little deeper and see how they're being produced and how these pieces kind of fit into that broader narrative that Harry shared. So thank you, and thank you to Harry for producing these pieces for GTGS. We're really excited to have the audience be able to hold that. And so I think, you know, we're kind of nearing the end of time. This was just a very brief and quick preview of the experience and what the audience can expect. But what about suggestions for people who are now curious? They got the NFT bug or the blockchain bug and they want to learn more and they want to experiment more. or they're very interested in the art. Maybe first, Austin, I'll hand it over to you. What's next? What should they do and where should they go?
Definitely like go get a wallet. I feel like just getting started with Ethereum, you just go to ethereum.org. There's get ETH, there's get wallets, there's use dApps. And that's basically what you want to do. Go get your hands dirty, go use it, right? Get a wallet, get some ETH. You'll need ETH to be able to buy things and pay for gas. Once you have a wallet, so Argent, Rainbow, MetaMask, there's a ton of different wallets. Then you can go to some of these dApp platforms like Foundation, OpenSea, Zora, Rarible, all these fun NFT platforms. And you can basically like go participate with those with the dApp browser or with a wallet. Another fun one is my own, like Nifty Ink. Go to Nifty Ink on a tablet and ink something fun, and you've just made an NFT. There's a lot of ways to get started, so just dive in. I think ethereum.org is a great place to just like land and then go find what you're looking for. But get a wallet and go participate.
That's
And I
great.
guess, yeah, one point to add to that is that there is an explosion, a renaissance of new artworks occurring. And as I've mentioned, it's so exciting to see the connections, and it's such a huge opportunity to not just collaborate, but facilitate and support the arts in a really exciting new way. So get out there, see the artwork that's there. This is just going to continue to evolve. It's a wonderful investment of time. Enjoy the artwork that's being made. It's a rainbow of opportunities at the moment.
And if I can add as well, that if you are, playing with the technology, but are curious about sort of how this trend is evolving, you can of course go to the Strategic Intelligence platform, where you can stay on top of the latest vetted publications and sort of trends, but mostly around a risk and opportunity perspective on that platform as well.
Great. And then Harry, I think anything else that you wanted to add about those, for those who are interested in the art pieces and learning more about the work that you're doing?
What we're planning to do is also to explore the concept of gifting on the blockchain. It's this idea that you're able to actually produce artworks, and because you can resell in all of these wonderful ways using smart contracts, actually to just gift. We're speaking with 20 of what I think are the most remarkable voices, but they're also voices that need love, support, to be highlighted. And right now we need inclusive, brand new ways of highlighting these key ideas. So the idea of creating voice gems, just almost like the artwork being the face of tokens, this is the face of a much larger project to try and highlight voices. And as I say again, your voice is a gem. Be aware of it, how it feels, the tone of it. And yeah, this project will continue to grow. So I look forward to meeting all of you at some point.
Well, that is great. Thank you all for your time. I'm going to wrap it up there, but as you can see, this is just a very cool project and experience, and we hope you'll take the time to go into the wallet, play around, mint and burn some artwork, and really start to understand what's all the hype around the NFTs and what's really there. So thank you all for your time, and enjoy the rest of the Global Technology Governance Summit to our participants. Thank you so much.
Cheers.